Hi guys, James at RampantLionReviews again for you today with another beer review. For this one we are going to return to Sweden, and these guys are probably one of the best known Swedish craft breweries these days actually, if not the best known one. So we're going to return to Omnipollo and we're having a taste of one of their famous sweet imperial stouts today. This one is called Noa Pecan Mud Pie and it comes in at 11%. It's rated at 98 on Rate Beer, and a lot of their imperial stouts that they do they're very good at brewing this style of beer. So if you get the chance, try some of these beers. There's the Noa, the Agamemnon, the Yellow Belly, and those are all very good beers. And I have to give a thank you to Johan Reiding. He actually sent me a bottle of Agamemnon and Yellow Belly, so you'll see those reviews coming up in the next few months. But I got this beer as part of the small party here in Systembolaget towards the end of January. You'll be seeing this one in very early February if I'm not mistaken, so do keep an eye out for my other Omnipollo reviews that are coming up. But anyway, as is usual with my beer reviews then, I'll tell you a little bit about the brewery. If you do want to get straight to the tasting, just fast forward. All the usual websites are in the video description below. That's the brewery website, the link to my other Omnipollo reviews that I've done before. There will be more added in the future like I said, and there's all the usual social media, Facebook, Twitter and Untappd, so please follow me on there. Your support would be much appreciated, and please do let me know some other Swedish beers and breweries that you'd like me to have a look at. The standard of Swedish beer is very high these days and I've found some very good things, so don't hesitate to get in touch and let me know about some other ones that I may not have heard of. So anyway, to tell you about Omnipollo. So Omnipollo was founded back in 2011 by Henrik Fenty, who's a long-time home brewer, and Carl Grandin, who was actually a clothing designer. But the two met one day and they decided to start a brewery after discussing the rather insular craft beer scene in Sweden and also further afield. But they wanted to reinvigorate the craft beer scene in Sweden from both a stylistic and from a gastronomic sense. So they felt that the partnership between a home brewer and a clothing designer was actually very logical. But the name Omnipollo is derived from omnipotent chicken. So you have Omni and Pollo. Pollo, of course, being Spanish for chicken. And these guys are gypsy brewers, so they have no brewery of their own, if you like, and they use spare capacity at other breweries, and they brew many collaboration beers as a result of this. And they currently export to over 20 different countries, and they're continually expanding. But recently, they opened the Omnipollo's hat in Stockholm as a collaboration with Pizza Hut, and this has become very popular actually. I need to go and visit it when I get up to Stockholm, but there you'll get some pretty awesome pizza and a lot of these Omnipollo beers in bottle and on tap. So if you find yourself in Stockholm, go and search at Omnipollo's hat. You will find some very good beers, and from what I hear, some very good pizza as well. But if you want to read more about the different beers, there's about 30 of them listed on the website there. Just check out the website in the video description below and you can read about all of those. And I can guarantee you with this brewery, pretty much pick a style of beer that you like and you will enjoy. These guys do some really awesome stuff, so don't be scared to try the Omnipollo beers. They're pretty damn good in my opinion. But anyway, let's actually get on to the tasting of this beer now. So this one is an 11% Imperial Stout and it was brewed at De Molen Brewery in the Netherlands. So yeah, I'll just let you have a little quick look at the artwork. There's not actually that much to show you with this one. This is another one of the kind of plain glass bottles that you get from Omnipollo. It's a plain bottle cap, of course, because they are gypsy brewers. You can see on the back there is the Noa symbol for this one. Comes in at 11%, like I said, and it should be a very nice one for us to try. So let's get it open and we'll get on with the tasting here. Really looking forward to trying this beer. So, as you can see, a nice smoky opening on this one. You can smell some of the vanilla off this as you actually just pop open the bottle, and that's without paying too much attention to the aroma, of course. It really has. You can smell that. It's got a really nice kind of cakey, slightly spicy aroma there. It smells absolutely beautiful. You can mistake that for being a fresh cooked brownie actually. So as you can see, this beer is poured a really nice dark ebony rosewood colour. There's a solid finger, or solid probably 2/3 finger, frothy beige tan head on this one. It looks very nice. There's no visible carbonation on this one actually, which is quite unusual. Oh well, there's maybe one or two little bubbles just going up towards the bottom of the head there, but really not much visible at all. There's nothing sticking towards the side of the glass, no visible sediment, and just with the colour of this beer you can see there's pretty much no transparency to this one. It looks very nice. The head is just starting to fade away, and I'm sure that will go down to be a very thin foamy layer as you normally get with these kind of high ABV beers. You could see just how syrupy it was when it poured as well. So let's give this guy a smell and see how we get on then. Yeah, you can really smell these nutty aromas coming out of this one. Of course, when it's called Pecan Mud Pie, that's exactly what you would expect. It's got that nice smooth pecan nut aroma coming out of it. There's quite a bit of vanilla in here too, and it almost has a kind of sort of cookie dough aroma coming out as well. It's really actually very nicely done, I have to admit. There's a woody and nutty kind of infusion going on with this. Definitely vanilla and definitely cookies in this beer. But there's a lot of sweet chocolate. Maybe some caramel as well, but it almost smells a little bit like a kind of brownie. A chocolate brownie that's had vanilla added to it. But much like the aroma, you've got a nice big kind of sweet, or much like you would expect, I guess. You're probably going to get a big kind of chocolatey sweetness from this one. That's the kind of trademark of these Omnipollo beers. So without further ado, let's get stuck into this guy. When it comes to beers like this, just give them a good smell before you actually try them, because there will be a hell of a lot of flavour, and this always gives you a good indication. So let's get stuck into this guy then. I'm really excited for this one. This is the Noa Pecan Mud Pie from Omnipollo here in Sweden. Gypsy Brewers. I'm sure this beer is going to be awesome. Skål! Well, tell you something, it certainly doesn't disappoint. Just on the first taste, you can tell how good quality this beer is. As I always say, when it comes to beers that are quite complex like this, just sugar it around your palate and let the whole mouth adjust so you can start to pick out some of these more kind of complex flavours. That's a really, really nice beer. I've tried a couple of these stout beers from Omnipollo, and they never fail to disappoint. So I mean, if you try this guy, the Yellow Belly, the Agamemnon, they are all very, very good beers. You really need to get a hold of some of these Omnipollo things if you get the chance. They really are top class, and if you enjoy the Imperial Stout style, especially if you enjoy sweet stouts and milk stouts as well, you will enjoy some of these Imperials that you're going to get from Omnipollo. But as you would expect from the aroma on this one, there's a huge sweet chocolatey flavour to this one, but it's actually got a good bit of lingering kind of bitterness as well. So the middle of your palate is just blanketed with this kind of bready and almost cakey flavour, if you like, and it starts to, as you move into the aftertaste, it starts to sweeten out a bit. You get more vanilla and you get more of these kind of biscuity, almost cookie dough flavours coming out of this one. But yeah, there's some sweet chocolate in there. The vanilla flavour actually mixes really well with that. It's a sweet kind of vanilla cookie dough flavour that you're getting mixing. You'll feel that just towards the front of the tongue. The middle of the tongue comes across as quite wet, and it's got quite an oily mouthfeel, and you'll just feel those flavours coming out on this one. It's really nicely done this. If you get the chance, you have to try this beer. Fully deserving of its 98 rating in my opinion. But yeah, so on top of that nice base, there's a lot of sweet chocolate in there. There's that cakey flavour, that real kind of cakey infusion that's in this beer is very nice. You can get the nutty flavours mixing in there. There's a good bit of vanilla. And around the edges of the palate too, there's just a very soft, kind of earthy, hoppy character. There's maybe even a little bit of a slightly red candied fruit ester coming out just behind that front curve of the tongue there. You'll feel just a little oily bubble, and you can pick up just a tiny little bit of a red candied fruit ester, but that is very minimal. The main flavours in this beer are the chocolate, the nuts and the vanilla. The vanilla and chocolate mixed together very, very well. There's a good bit of caramel in there as well. You get a nice roasted character to it also. Yeah. What's interesting about this, at 11% you do expect some alcohol warmth from this. This one does cover it quite well. But at the same time, you do get a nice big kind of warmth from it, and that kind of blends. You have a kind of roasted character that comes out with that. Normally, these kind of boozy characters are covered by a kind of big, kind of, how do you say, like a sort of syrupy caramel. But this one has a little bit of a roasted, almost coffee-ish flavour, and that's what really blends together with the alcohol flavours in this one. It's done very nicely. It's a little bit quirky in that regard, actually. But yeah, definitely a nice, fruity, there's definitely a nice fruity edge to this one, and that mixes well with these kind of chocolate and vanilla flavours. There's a lot going on in this beer, as you can probably gather by how in depth I'm making the tasting on this one, but it is top notch stuff. You really have to try this one for yourself. So if you enjoy these sweet stouts, you will enjoy this. And as you move into the aftertaste, the thing that's really lingering there is that kind of vanilla cookie dough flavour. Some of the chocolate's there as well. You've got a very slight kind of roasted, almost coffee-ish bitterness that starts to push its way out. The mouthfeel at the end of the beer does become just a little bit dry, and there's a tiny little bit of that candied red fruit ester that I was talking about. But overall, in terms of the flavour, you cannot fault this beer at all. Fully deserving of its 98 rating on Rate Beer. You have to try this one. So in terms of the mouthfeel of this one, I would say full-bodied. There's not much doubt about that. The mouthfeel of this beer is really quite syrupy. The carbonation is very smooth. It's quite oily, and there's a big malty sweetness to this one as well. But as I said, there's a good balance between the more roasted aspects of the malt flavour too. The hops are very, very smooth, and there is just a tiny little bit of a slightly juicy fruit character. The middle of your palate, the very middle of your palate actually stays really quite wet, but as you move further out towards the edge, you get those kind of slightly roasted malt coffee flavours that come out, and they give you a little bit of dryness, but the hoppy part of the beer you can feel is very, very smooth, and that gives it quite an interesting mouthfeel as well. And there is a bit of alcohol warmth, and but like I say though, those kind of roasted elements of the flavour really make this one, it really kind of blends that out and kind of covers it quite well, which is unusual because normally, as I say, you expect the sort of the roasted caramel flavours to kind of cover that up. So overall, a very, very quirky beer. If you haven't tried this one yet, I'm sure if you enjoy imperial stouts and particularly sweet stouts, you will enjoy this one. But another top-notch effort from Omnipollo. So I hope you've enjoyed this beer review. As always, please let me know your own thoughts on it in the comment section below. Always interesting to hear from you guys that are watching the video. So I thank you for watching. Let me know your own thoughts like I say. And until the next one, please like, subscribe, share, all the usual YouTube stuff. Go and check out my social media things too. And the most important thing, of course, is to go and check out Omnipollo. And you can expect some other Omnipollo reviews from me in the very near future. I've got the Yellow Belly and the Agamemnon coming up thanks to Johan. So look forward to those. Go and check out the Noa Pecan Mud Pie from Omnipollo in the meantime. Slàinte just now, and I'll catch you soon. This was an awesome beer, so do try it. Cheers.